welcome to Stoney and Jamarr. Conversations with Stoney and Jamarr. Happy Wednesday, world. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. We don't know what time of day you're going to join in, but we just thank you anyway. Hello, Jamarr.
Absolutely.
How are
Hey,
you doing today?
I'm tired, but I'm good. I'm good.
Oh,
I'm
you
here.
look happy. You look happy. You look free. Happy New Year to you and
You
the
too.
fam.
Yes, you
Yes.
too.
Yes, thank you. I've had much needed rest. We're on here. We're doing what we love. So you're living your life until you're doing what you love and living your purpose. Otherwise, you're already 6 feet under. So
Right.
we're living the dream right now. So one of the things that I guess we could talk about is women in leadership. Um, it's hard being a woman in leadership. People are
Yeah.
always watching you. People are always wondering what you're going to say, what you're going to wear. Um, Even if you're not a mom or if you're an auntie or whatever, it's hard being a woman today in leadership because we're always scrutinized for something. Too much hair weave, too much eyelashes, too much lipstick. Fingernails are too long. We said the wrong thing. Our dress
Hmm.
is too short. Oh, I dress you can see through. And let's talk about that dress that Pastor
Yeah.
Jamal Bryant's wife was photographed in a couple of weeks ago. We're on the bandwagon. We're talking about it. It's after the fact, so we're safe.
Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah.
That's what this is about now. Talking about discussing things.
Yes.
Where did she wear that dress to the church?
It was to some sort of event. However, I'm gonna say this here. I like some of the messages that Pastor Jamal Bryant says. Um, but I'm gonna say this. I feel that as the wife that he has chosen for himself, not for us. That's
Hmm.
his wife. That the the things that she wear and the representation of him being a man of God is extra.
Mm.
She has the hair weave, the makeup, the eyelashes, the skin tight dresses. Um, it's just a bit much. I think it's a bit much.
As a pastor's wife.
Yes.
Yeah.
We know that you're living a grand life. We know that you have a six-figure income. We know that you can afford these lavish things because of the poor people. I have a
Mm.
problem with that. So you want to, as a leader, I don't care how much money I get, I am still going to keep it simple because I want to lead the people. I don't want to scare the people off. I don't want them to resent me. So I
Right.
don't mind buying a simple dress or wearing a simple hairstyle. You want people to understand the message of God, not looking
Mm.
at your um, pearls, your lace dress, your hair weave, your lashes. You are coming as a fashionata instead of bringing the word. How can I focus on the word if I'm broken? If I am down, if I'm on drugs, and you're here to minister to me and tell me that there is a savior, there is a man up above that can save my soul. But you got on all of this ensemble on.
Mm.
I'm missing the
Mm.
message.
Mm.
All
All
I'm
right.
looking at is you. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
looking at you like, dang, yeah, I want to get off these drugs, but I also want me a 27 piece like that.
Yeah.
I want me a lace dress like that.
Mm.
I'm missing the
So
message.
so here's my take on that. That's why when you hit me and said you want to talk about it, I was excited. I said, oh, absolutely. You know what?
What?
But that's the church. What
Yes.
what she looked like is the church. That's the church. Like that's it looked good on the outside, look real tempting, don't it?
Yeah.
But on the inside,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
So she wearing that dress, she ain't doing nothing but representing the religion. She representing the church because that's exactly what the church is. It's exactly what it is.
Well,
You,
I'm
you,
going to
you
say,
go
I'm going
ahead.
to say this. I grew up in the church, and it wasn't that type of church. I grew up in the perfect church, which still
And
exists
the what
to the,
church?
the perfect church.
The perfect.
Perfect church. Perfect.
Mm, it's a
So
perfect church.
the perfect church,
Go
it
ahead.
still exists.
Yeah, what is the perfect church?
They are the owners of Beautiful Restaurant on Cascade.
I've been there.
Okay. So
Yeah.
that church still exists to this day. I grew up in that church, and I was taught as a young child that a woman is to keep it modest. We weren't supposed to wear earrings because those things weren't of God. We were supposed to keep the hair covered, the long sleeves, the long dresses. Women weren't supposed to wear things and garments of men.
Mm,
That's how I was raised.
yeah.
So as I became older, I started to make a judgment call for myself. And yes, those things are written in the Bible. So I
Mm,
have an issue with the pastor as he is so grandiose with
mm,
all of his finances, fancy cars, all of the material possessions of what he's achieving from the people. And he's broadcasting that and showing the wife off in such a flamboyant way. I look at him with other pastors, like Pastor Keenan, I think his name is Keon Henderson.
mm.
Um, his first lady, which is Shantae Henderson, which is the ex-wife of Shaquille O'Neal.
Got you.
Now, if you see those two in comparisons, she dresses like a lady.
Mm,
She's fashionable, but she dresses like a lady. Would I listen to what she had to say? Yes, I would. Because she doesn't have on a bunch of makeup. She doesn't have a bunch of hair weave. If you go look at her photos with her
mm,
husband, she dressed and act like a lady. So I would be, as a woman, if she held a conference, I would be more receptive to hear what she had to say. She probably could lead me to the well and tell me there was a Jesus over there because
mm,
she's acting like a lady. And that's someone I feel like, First Lady Henderson, that I could mimic my life and my style in grace with
right.
without looking like I'm joining a circus. Or because I'm going to say it, Pastor Jamal, Brian's wife, mimics Beyonce like she's trying to go to Hollywood. But you're
Mm,
right here at Newburgh in Lithonia, which
mm-hmm.
isn't, come on.
But is it about the outside or the inside? Is it about the message or the messenger? Right? Because
Both.
when we talking about both,
Yeah.
because okay, if one thing about in the black community, if you don't show uh success, right? Look, I could get on here and get the same message this morning.
Mhm.
It might get 100 views, 2,000 maybe. Steve Harvey can come behind me and say the same thing and go viral. Why?
They,
Because they view him as success. Why do they view him as success? Because of what he has, what he
right,
projects,
right,
right?
right.
So whereas you may say it's the outside and the inside, the reality of it is most black people look at it from the outside. They like the shiny things,
Mm.
right?
Shiny things will get you messed up every time.
Well, that's I mean that's that like I that's the message. I look for the message. What's going on the how the person what the message is, but also how they living. She might wear what she wear, right?
Yes.
And just be a sweet, good person.
Uh-huh.
Very sweet person, but people judging her by what she's wearing. Now, the other sister you was talking about, she might present herself as a lady and be a pure B behind closed doors. Don't nobody want to be around her. It be like that sometimes, where the people who project themselves to be these upstanding good people and well behind closed doors, they rocking.
Mm. Well, that could very well. I could. You have a valid point, but in my judgment, I see that people who usually dress a certain way, it usually align with who they really are inside.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So if you take a person, a woman who wear tight pants, tight excuse me, tight shirt and lots of wigs, 9 times out of 10 she's seeking attention from men and she's promiscuous. Nine
Mm.
times out of 10.
All right, let's flip it like this. On a normal day, you might see me like this.
Okay.
Am I what is this telling you about me?
Well, from their standpoint of view, you may be getting ready to rob somebody or you may
Eh,
be dangerous.
you get my point, but I
But
ain't
you're
gonna
not
rob
that guy.
nobody. Exactly.
Your
That's
heart
why
you
it's
yes,
it's
you'll give someone your shirt
dangerous,
off your back.
right? It's dangerous to view somebody from the outside before getting to know who that person is.
But your
When we
attire can make that person not want to come. I have met people and
is that
base
my fault? Is that on me, or does that speak to the person? If
it's
you
on
can't,
you
no,
because first impressions.
if you can't take the time out
Yeah.
to get to know someone, that speaks to who you are, not me.
No, but if your attire says one thing and it doesn't align with the my agenda as a person, I'm already viewing you as a slut, or I'm already viewing you as someone that I can't trust based off your attire. Because if you wear that, who are you? Like what it says a lot about your character.
It doesn't. It doesn't speak
Yeah.
to your character. No,
So you're saying
not
that
to,
a
not to,
woman that wears long dresses and is covered up and covering her body and is not trying to reveal something about herself is promiscuous?
I don't know. I don't know who she is. All I know is that's what
Okay.
she likes to wear. That's how she likes to dress. That's all I know about her. I don't know. I'm not going to look at somebody by the way they're dressed and believe that they're this type of person or that type of person. If I don't know the person, how can I judge them off of what they're wearing?
Okay, so Pastor Jamal Bryant picked this dress out for his wife.
Right.
So it got a lot of comments, a lot of views, a lot of talk, a lot of just a lot of media attention about it. So my
Hmm.
comment was, if he liked it so much, then he should wear it.
Why? He liked it on his wife.
Okay, well then let her wear it for him. We don't want to see it.
That's
It was a
he.
it was a dress that has an imaginary skin, like where you could see through it, but you couldn't. And
Hmm.
the lace was like a nude see through, but it was just for the imagination, right?
Hmm.
So yes, his wife does have a figure. However, again, she's there to bring the people to God. She's there to take the broken and make them whole, not make them question and make them so much that they got to worry. What I'm trying to say is you should not be focused so much on the outer. You should be working on your inner. And if we're all looking at this dress, we're not even listening to what he's saying about God.
Mm. Then you in the then again, you gotta start asking yourself, what am I here for? I'm here to hear the word. I don't even worry about what she wearing. We can go back. All right, listen. We could go into the big hats that the elders wear in the church,
The mothers,
right?
yeah, the mothers of the church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that for? That makes you, and where did you get that from? Where
Okay.
this is a
Let's
tradition. This is what we talking about right now is the black church culture. And the black church culture is all over the place. One minute they telling you, God don't care how you get there, just get in the church. Then you come to the church and they going like this. Oh, look at him. Then they got the big. That's just the black church culture. If you came to get the word. It just goes. I'm telling you, it speaks to the black church. Yeah, weren't they talk about this woman dress and God in the same sentence. If you was thinking about God, you wouldn't even be judging it. You would say that woman got a whole husband. If he okay with her wearing it, guess what? I ain't got nothing to say about it.
and if they were true men and women of God, they would be in modesty, humbleness. Stop being grandiose and being boisterous about what God is giving you.
You're supposed
God
to.
is not for show. He is about the material things. If you want to lead people to Christ, tone it down a little bit.
Okay? I don't
Yeah.
know.
So I'm sure that there are people in Pastor Jamal Bryant's church, just like every other black church in America, because I grew up in the church, that are struggling with their rent, that are struggling with their car payment. But he wants to tell them and every other pastor in America that God is good and he's going to come by and he's going to help you. That's not, but they're not telling them that you have to work on yourself. You got to get up and go to work. You got to change your life. You got to make some things happen. It just doesn't fall out the sky.
Mm.
But God has been so good to him because, and all of these preachers, because you got to give 10% of your money so that they can live a certain lifestyle, so they can buy these dresses, buy these fancy clothes, buy these fancy cars, but you're catching the MARTA bus or the Uber to go hear them, and you're putting your 10% of your tips that you made in the church so that they can live a grandiose lifestyle and then be boisterous in your face and tell you how good God has been. Yeah, he's been good because he
Yeah.
done tricked you out of your money.
Yeah, but listen, it ain't no different than when Denzel Washington them get up there and say, if it wasn't for God, God, they do the same thing. Every person who got money is telling people God gonna do something. You just hit the nail, you just hit it, boom. You gotta, okay, I tell you what, anybody who talk like that, I tell you what you do. Stay in prayer, quit your job, don't pay your rent, stay in prayer for 60 days and see where you be at. But all of them do it. Soon as somebody gets some money, soon as somebody gets successful, they yelling, God, you look how good God been to me. To make it, and like you said, people who don't have it, they looking and going, wow, man, God just be out here eeny, meeny, miny, mo blessing people.
Mhm.
They all do it. Before he did, where he get the hustle from? He got it from Creflo Dollar. Uh, what's the other one? Eddie
TD
Long before
Jakes.
TD Jakes. They all been hustling the Bible. I might start a church. I know the word.
Yeah,
I told my wife I'm thinking about it. Go ahead and get me a little summary and start selling the word of God.
yeah.
It's money.
It's if you can convince people that God is going to deliver them and take the broken and be as simple as you are, and people can identify with you and relate to you, they will support you because there are a lot of people who are lost.
Mm.
And I know the word of God. And it said, the blind shall lead the blind, and they both shall fall in the ditch.
But it's not just the pastors who do it. It's not just the pastors who do it. They've been selling the black community hope for 60 years. Jesse Jackson do it. Al Sharpton do it. They all sell us hope, and we buy it.
Keep hope alive.
So yeah, yeah,
We shall overcome.
yeah. We still here.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and that's how we got into this slave mentality, and we aren't free. We still aren't free. We still are able. We are the strongest people because we know how to make it through anything. But we are the most gullible people because we always want to see hope. I don't even use the word hope in
Mm.
my vocabulary. I don't keep hope alive. Is when I get there. When
Hmm.
this happened for me, because I'm a manifester. I know the power of manifestation. I know the power of visualization and believing. Okay. And knowing that whatever, because, as the words say, faith without works is dead.
I think that
Believing in
says it all.
yourself, believing in yourself, doing what you're supposed to do, and putting that out in the universe. It's a system that has never failed. Now, some
Hmm.
people call it God, some people call it whatever. It's a proven fact. If you get up, believe, see it, visualize it, keep it to yourself, work on the plan and the vision, it shall come to pass.
You got to
Period.
do the work.
I don't care who you believe in.
Yeah, you got to do the work,
Gotta do the work.
and you can't
That's the
keep
main
giving your
thing.
power away. Don't
And you
a
don't need
lot
a
of people.
TD Jakes to tell you that.
No,
You don't need a Bryant, Jamal Bryant to tell you that, or
right.
Creflo Dollar to tell you that. You do not need these people who have placed themselves in authority and said that God has sent them to tell you that you will overcome.
Hmm. You're right. You're absolutely right.
God
You
has
got to,
told me to tell you that you're going to be free. God has told me to tell you that don't worry about the dress, just worry about God. That's what he said.
yeah. The dress. I mean,
I'm not worried about the dress, but I would say this as a first lady, you have the power to influence so
okay.
many people. You have, and when I say God, I mean the universe, because he has given all of us a purpose on this planet. You have a purpose, I have a purpose, Jamal Bryant have a purpose, his wife has a purpose. And when you know what that calling is and you know what it is, and you're in that position, I know my calling. My calling is to speak I am an influencer. So therefore, what I say, just like you said today, Steve Harvey can get on here and say the same thing that Stoney Love said, and people will hear him. And I just said the same thing. That
Hmm.
happened last 2 weeks ago. I said the exact same thing that Dr. Umar, is saying about Venus and Serena.
Hmm.
And he gets all of this traction. But I say it, and I'm a hater. Oh, you just hating on them girls. Why you say that about them girls?
Hmm. That's
I'm
how it goes.
what I'm saying is true.
Mm.
I'm not saying anything bad about them. I think they are successful young ladies. They have led a life, and speaking of women in leadership, they have led a beautiful life of strong leadership in sports. They have taken care of their bodies. They have gotten these endorsements. They have shown other women, hey, you too can be a tennis player. We have one right here, Coco Gauff, from Atlanta to Georgia, 21
Hmm.
years of age, hitting the ball.
Hmm.
Just signed a deal with Netflix. Michael Jordan just also signed a deal with her to wear his shoes. So when you have the women in leadership and you're showing them, you have someone that's showing them, hey, this is how you be a model because some other young lady is watching you.
Okay.
There's another young lady who is lost, who doesn't have a mama, or she may have a mama who's out here wearing tight pants and long wigs and lashes and looking crazy and doesn't really know the direction on which she should go as a young lady. I did a post this morning and I said, if you are a mama and you have a daughter that's under the age of 16 and she's wearing eyelashes, hair weaves, fingernails, tight clothes, you a bad mama.
Mm, mm,
Because you should be teaching your child to embrace her beautiful hair. She got lashes already. Why she
mm,
need some more lashes at 12 and 13? Who you selling her to? Because you
mm.
know who looking at her.
Yeah,
Them men looking at her. So why would you, as a mother, not protect your child at 13, 14, and 15 and put all that mess on her so that grown men could be attracted to
that's questionable. I would question that. I would definitely question that. Yeah, I think
her?
it's it's age appropriate things. I definitely agree,
You
but I
are an
also feel
adult longer than you are a child. Allow these kids to be kids.
yeah.
There is no need for you. I would never. I have two daughters, and you've met one of mine. They're 30, 35, and 34. And when they were that age, no, no hair weaves, no eyelashes, no fingernails. Yes, we're going to get a manicure. You are allowed to wear fingernail polish and you are allowed to wear lip gloss, not lipstick.
Hmm.
Just lip gloss. And you're allowed to have a nice carry over bag, not a big purse. Be a young lady.
Well, it's a different time now, and the mothers are younger, so it's hard. It's hard when the mother is 35 and she's still in the club, right? And she had the daughter when she was 25, so the daughter 10, right? I'm just saying, I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm saying it's a different time, and the mothers are younger.
Mhm.
Um, some of them never really wanted to be mothers, right? They still want to live. They still want to live their life. Then you have the influence coming from other places,
Social
the
media.
internet,
Mhm.
social media. So it's very difficult as a parent these days, especially as a mother. I,
I
I
I
think
I
I don't.
agree.
I think people, and the more the older generation speaks on the younger generation, the more rebellious they're going to come. The
Mm.
more rebellious they're going to be. Sometimes the older generation got to remember that what happened, because you was here before they was. They
Mhm.
came into this community in the condition that it was in. So
Mhm.
you can talk about, hey, it was used to be like this, it used to be like that. Then what happened? And if you really look at what happened, people that's in their 50s and 40s are responsible for the condition that the black community is in right now. Let's be honest.
I agree.
Who really destroyed the projects? What
We
generation did it?
well, I would say the people that are my age. I'm
Right.
50, 53. I grew
Jeanette.
up in a low income housing. I am from Mechanicsville, which is a part of the rough side of Atlanta. And it was hard growing up in that time. You had the drug dealers at the corner store, um, the gangs. But my mother made sure, remember I said I grew up in the church.
Hmm.
So I've always been protected. I was like I was born in a bubble. So the guys, I was a beautiful girl, but because I was all wrapped up, nobody didn't see how attractive I was. My mother made sure of that.
Yeah.
So when you talk about the community and the people that were in the community, the drug dealers and the people that they're older today,
Mm-hmm.
they have destroyed the community by impregnating the young girls, because a lot of the drug dealers impregnated the young girls.
Right.
They gang bang, just tore down what was giving to the community. And so now that those communities are no longer. And now they're moved out into other areas. They're living in houses and they still have that same mentality. So now their kids are growing up or have grown up and they're ratchet as hell too.
Well, I mean, and then you have some of those. You have some who have helped destroy the black community, but they're no longer participating in it. They have homes, good jobs. They have their CDLs now. They got barbershops, and those are the ones who criticize the younger generation the most. Those are the ones who look at the younger generation and go, "Oh, look at them! Oh my God, how could they be acting like that?"
You think I'm one of
Meanwhile,
them?
no, but because I'm just saying, if we want to bridge the gap, the talk of the down talking on the younger generation, it's got to stop because they just got here. We were already here, so they didn't come into the community and start selling drugs. The drugs was already here. They didn't come in the community gang banging. The gangs was already here. They didn't come in to the community and destroy the housing apartments, public housing. It was already destroyed when they got here. So to look down on them and say, "Oh my God, look at them, man, y'all," it's kind of, they gonna look up at you and go, "Who you judging?" Right? Either trying to tell us some war stories or you judging us.
Right.
You know, nothing is new under the sun. Everything that's done has already been done. So what they doing, we already did. The best way is to try to reach out and say, "Listen, I ain't judging you, but some of these old bums that you see used to be young money getters or people like, that was getting money. They never thought there'd be a bum in their 40s and 50s. It's just a certain way. I don't participate in the looking down on them because it's a different time. Things have changed so much.
So how do we as adults who have been there, how do we teach these young generation, especially women in leadership? We're gonna get to the men the next episode about how do women carry themselves accordingly to lead these young women from twerking, wearing. I see these men wearing bonnets. That
Hmm.
is that's another thing. Women have been wearing these bonnets. Now I see these content creator men on here wearing bonnets. How do we as women stop the madness? So if we would never get on here and wearing bonnets and tight pants and um halter tops and things of that nature, then the men who doesn't have fathers, they wouldn't be doing it because he would
Uh,
know better. It's
with,
not
with,
cute. When I see a
with
man in a
humility,
bonnet, I'm like, something's wrong with you. There is no way I would wear a man's ensemble, like one of those do rags, and tied up on my head. I don't want to be a dude.
yeah. Well, you reaching with humility first. You got to be humble, and we got to start asking ourselves, like, what are we talking about? We talking about the outside of the content of your character. If you strong, if you a good mother, if you are educated, if you are leading your people, I don't care how you dress. I don't care how you dress. If you
You can't
educate,
lead me if you're dressing. I'm not going to hear nothing You have to say if you got on tight pants, a blonde wig, and long eyelashes. I think you're a clown, period. I hear nothing you got to say.
But Stoney, that speaks to you.
No,
That don't it don't speak to the person. That speaks to your character.
no.
It don't speak to the person's character. You are the one being judgmental. You
I'm
can
not being
learn from
judgmental.
you are. You telling somebody that if you got a wig on, I don't want to hear nothing. You a clown.
I
But
wear wigs. But I'm just saying.
but hold on, they could be more educated, more worldly, more experienced than you. They could teach you something. But you willing to look at this person and go, because you are dressed like this, I don't want to hear nothing you have to say.
And
That's
I
some
need
cracker shit. That's white people shit.
white,
Yeah, that's white people. That's white people
white
shit. And I
friends.
had you just took that is some white people. Yeah, Stoney, you just
I
went out.
love
You just went out. Huh?
it. Oh my god.
Cause that's that's what we do in the community. I could tell you something, they won't hear me. A white man come right behind me. The white man said it. That's the truth. That white man telling the truth.
So you think I got a slave mentality?
I ain't saying. I'm just saying when you can learn from a baby, you can learn from a child.
Yes, I
I'm
do.
just saying. Let me say it a different way. It's dangerous to resist knowledge and wisdom based on the appearances, based on somebody's appearance. You might miss something, right? They say God uses everybody. You could see a stinking bum in the street. He might stop you and say, Miss, and he might hit you with something and be like, wow. But if
but
you
that's
go like
different.
this, but
That's
it's
different.
different.
Yeah, so if I see a person that's less fortunate than I am and he's on the street and he say, "Hey ma'am, he may try to have a conversation with me. I'm not going to be judgmental towards him. I'm going to listen to him. I don't know what circumstances got him to there. But if you
Hmm.
get up in the morning and you're coming to, just say I'm holding interviews for the Stoney Love Show, I'm looking for an assistant. And
Hmm.
I need someone to represent me when I am not able to represent myself. And you come into my establishment with some tight pants on, long eyelashes, chewing your gum. Yeah, I'm here. I'm see Miss Stoney Love, and I want to get the assistant job. I don't hear you because that's first of all, I don't need you speaking for me or even talking to me, looking like that or sounding like that. So I have a
Right.
problem with that. So why did you even
Okay.
show up here?
Okay. Now that's a little different. You're talking about professionalism, right? You're talking about somebody coming in and being professional. I'm talking about leadership, right? I'm talking about somebody who uh I may not speak as eloquent as other people, but I have the passion, right? You're gonna rarely ever see me dressed up, slacks. No, you'll see me with a hoodie in the summertime, a t-shirt, but it doesn't change my experience, my wisdom, or my knowledge. Those who choose to look at me and go, but they'll listen to the guy like a good TD Jakes, the hustlers. They got the nice suits on and they talking. They milking the community. It's been going on in our community forever. These good guys who know how to talk so well, they dress so nice. Again, like you said, everything that glitters ain't gold, but our community like the shiny things. We like the people that look nice.
But
Even though they could be leading us, they could lead us wherever. But because they look good, we listening to them. So it's dangerous to just ignore. I understand professionalism. Nah, you can't come in somebody establishment with that type of mentality. But we talking about leadership. Yeah,
well, but that's what I'm saying. That goes to even the professionalism. If you're when you get up in the morning, even though like we're doing what we love to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're dressed how you're choosing to dress. I'm dressed how I'm choosing to dress. But people tune in to hear the message, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we deliver the content in a professional manner. Although we don't have all the glitter, we don't have the fancy studio, we don't have the fancy clothes, the fancy microphones, but we have the message.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, it's still being delivered. They're still
Mm-hmm.
understanding what we're delivering. But if we got on here and I'm like, yeah, what up, Jay? Yeah, da da woo woo woo,
Mm-hmm.
and people be like, did you, you know, we may get more traction.
We would. We would. We would. But wait a minute. We would. And if we were in a fancy studio, we would get more. So either way, if we got on here and was like, yeah, Stoney, so look, man, Nerdy's ball, right? We would get more. And if we was in a nice, shiny studio with the mics up and we was talking, yes, it will get more traction. Because
Right,
black people like shiny things. We like it to look good.
right.
It's
And
what you,
why is that? Why is that?
huh?
What is the psychology behind that?
Because we love white people. White people taught us that.
Oh,
White people taught us how to dress up. White people taught us how you make the outside look good, just like them. And white folks look good and be on the inside be sinister and diabolical.
ah,
Why can a white man listen? How can a white man walk in a grocery store and kill innocent black people? Because he look unassuming.
yeah,
And that's how they taught us to be. They taught us, look, you're supposed to look like this, dress like this, talk like this, and that's how you deliver a message, or that's the type of people you want to represent you. And we still doing it. So going back to the dresses, the eyelashes, this younger generation, they don't care about none of that. They don't care about who telling them how they got to dress. They don't care about who telling them how they got to talk. I'm gonna be me. And if you either gonna rock with me or you're not. I could respect that.
at what age, if you had a daughter, what age would you allow her to wear eyelashes, hair weaves, and um, fake nails?
I would never wanted to do it. I would never. But that would mean at her young age, you have to teach her to love who she is and what she look like.
Exactly.
You understand like if you're not teaching these kids the same thing as a little boy, but a little girl, we on the girls, on the women.
Right.
If you teach her to love herself, and you have to continue to do it because you could teach her in the home, she gonna walk out in that world.
Mm-hmm.
And them kids gonna say, oh, you don't got no lashes, you ain't got no nails. She has to be strong enough to be like, I don't need all of that. I'm beautiful.
That's right.
Right? If I had a daughter, her daddy gonna tell her she beautiful. Her daddy gonna make sure she got this, she got that. So these bum dudes don't come around. That's how we did my sister. We
Right.
always let my sister know, yo, you're beautiful. We always
Mm-hmm.
let my sister know, yo, we got you. So no bum dude could come along and say, yo, I could get this to you. Hey, that's all you bringing? My brother and them will give me that. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? You gotta
And
love me.
and going back to you saying that you instilled that in your sister. So you were like your sister's first love, besides possibly your dad.
Her
So
dad, yeah.
do you find that your sister married or is with a guy similar to you?
Now, here's the problem. I used to be doing other things.
Okay.
So my sister kinda, she like a some women look at the street dudes as strong,
Yeah.
right? Which says a lot about our community because that would mean it's a lack of strong men.
Hmm.
But so she kind of, as she gotten older and as I've evolved, Yeah, she looks towards somebody who can say, okay, you used to be in the streets. My brother used to be in the streets, but where are you now? Because she's older now. You know what I mean? Like, nah, she ain't gonna go out there and mess with no street dude now. She needs somebody who you got a little street knowledge with you, you know how to move, you know, but you
But
need
you're
to be a
stable.
grown man. Yeah, you need to be a grown man and be responsible.
But because of the love that she has for you, she can still relate to a black man and love him on that
Right.
basis.
Yeah.
And and that's where I was going with the self-love from home. When
Hmm.
these young women love their fathers, love are taught self-love, they don't deviate from that as they get older. They're looking for that in a
Hmm.
mate because they already had it in their brother or
A father or uncle.
they've had it in their with their dad.
Hmm.
So when I see Venus and Serena deviate from that, I know that they disconnected somewhere somehow.
Mm.
When I see Serena with the blonde wig and making all of the alterations, I understand that they're possibly, you know, you're trying to deviate from the strong features that you have because you don't love yourself. But there's beauty in all kinds, in all
Yeah.
kinds. And so I think a lot of people took what I was saying in a wrong or a negative way. And I was not being good morning, Robert Still. How are you? Thank you for joining us today. Um, when you have someone that you love, you can identify with them. You look for that in your life because
Yeah.
you know what it feel like. Your sister know that you protect her, that you're gonna give her good advice. So the man that she chooses to love now has some type of similarity to Jamar. It might
Yeah.
be height,
But
it
you
could
know,
be yes.
when we talk about Venus and Serena or some of these other women, right?
Uh-huh.
They in another world. They, you know, they're living in another world and they're dealing with some different things. So we don't know. They can hold on to what their father taught them, but we don't know who hurt them,
Right.
right? We don't know that world they live in is cruel. That world is a whole. No, we don't know that experience, right? What they deal with on a day-to-day basis. Them girls were uh all over the world. Things were said, nasty things were said about them, and
Hmm.
you could be as strong, but enough of it, you know, um, it could wear on you. And so, how I look at them is, I'm going. They went somewhere safe.
Yeah.
I get this right here. I'm safe. Or why don't these people love me? I
Mm.
found one that loved me, or it's just so many different ways you could look at what they went through. Where
Right.
was the black men to protect them when
Yeah.
the world was beating up on them and calling them monkeys and baboons? And so black women got it rough.
Right.
Black women have it very, very rough, from each other to the world to black men, their own community. It's rough being a black woman. It always has been.
As a black man, as a uncle, as a father, as a grandfather, what would you say to a young lady who's under the age of 15, who has low self-esteem, who doesn't have a father in her life? What would you tell her today about herself if she wanted to wear lashes and hair weaves and piercings? What would you say to her if you could speak to a young lady today?
You know, we put a lot of emphasis on saying, really, if you can't show them. But what I probably wouldn't say much, because I could tell her she's beautiful, but I would much rather connect her to a black woman, a
Right.
mentor, right? Maybe that's what I would say. Like, little sis, maybe you need
Hmm.
a mentor, a nice, a good, strong black woman who's not forceful, who's not gonna judge her, but who she could really look at, and be around.
Hmm.
Because saying something is one thing, but being able to be around somebody taking the time out to say, "Hey, let me want to go to the movies. Let's go to the museum. Let me show you some different things." That's what's really needed in the black community: mentorship,
So,
not
what would
just
you say to the black woman who should be in leadership to guide our young women then? If you could speak to her, to the mentor, the women that are in mentorship and leadership.
speak to the needs of the youth. Right? These young girls need to see different things. Like we have black women, man, who are right here in Atlanta, especially in Atlanta.
Hmm.
Man, these young girls need to be taken to museums. You have to enrich their minds and show them you got to show them something outside of Mechanicsville. You got to show them something outside of East Atlanta. You got to take these little girls and take them on a trip to New York City. Take them on a trip to California. Show them some. That's one of the biggest things for me was somebody showing me new things.
Hmm.
Like, look, the world is bigger than Atlanta. A lot of our youth right now, all over this country, they stuck in their hood.
Hmm.
Everybody talking to them. Nobody is showing them nothing. All of this money that black men and women have, nobody's taking one youth and saying, "I'm gonna mentor this one, and
Right.
I'm gonna show them some things." Not just talk to them. Man, get that little girl a passport the next time you go to Paris and take her with you. You got it. Like that's what's needed. Like if we really want to save the younger generation, got to start mentoring and showing them something outside of East Atlanta, outside of Oakland City. They need to get out there and see that the world is big.
And we need to start. If I could say something to the women of leadership in Atlanta or around the world, I would say to you, put your clothes on, show the women, young women that are in need of your leadership, show them the power of education, communication, and self-love.
Hmm.
That's my that's what I would say to the women in leadership and to myself. Nobody calls me until now. But we didn't begin the day with the positive potato.
All right, we could give it to them on the way out.
Okay, so here we go. It's a beautiful day to be a helper, and you're already doing it so well.
There you have it.
So
Help somebody.
that's right.
That's
And
right.
so
Help somebody.
that was out of the um, potato, positive potato. Um, Ben, I just want to say thank you everyone for joining us. Help someone today. Be an encouragement to someone. Um, Work on not being judgmental. Lead someone to something that they don't know, like in a good way. Um, I'm still growing. He's still
I'm
growing.
still
You're still
going.
growing, and we're going and growing together. So conversations with Jamar, Stoney and Jamar. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you. When will we see them again?
Uh, let's talk behind.
Okay.
We
Well,
got to
we'll see
discuss.
you again very soon.
Yeah.
And if you want to be a guest on the show, you can email Stoney and Jamar at gmail.com. We have room for you right
Yeah.
here on the podcast.
Absolutely.
Until the next time, my friend, I'll talk to you
Okay.
later. All
All
right.
right. Bye
Okay.
bye.